Hello everyone, welcome to the final episode of Rough Rec Tapes. We have completed 10 episodes now of Petty Rec Tapes podcast, and this episode is more of an informative kind. I would like you to introduce you to our format and working of things. So, when we started Petty Rec Tapes a couple of months ago, it was just about recording long form podcast episodes discussing particular topics and whatever came to our interest. Mainly it was about movies and things, but slowly we got into discussing a couple of books and going with our thoughts, whatever sounded interesting or whatever we had a little bit of opinions that we had regarding things to share. But now, since a couple of months have gone by, we've come up with a few segments to add to have more conversations regarding things here and there. So the first main thing about our podcast is usually Petty Rec Tapes, which is of long form episodes, which they are of a duration of between 1 hour, sometimes 1.5 hours, sometimes 2 hours. And usually these discussions are regarding, maybe it will be about a movie or a particular book. For example, the first five episodes of the season one that we did, the first episode was just a bunch of fun stories here and there that we did. And moving ahead, on the second episode, we discussed Dr. Jordan Peterson's two books, 12 Rules for Life and 12 More Rules for Life. Other than that, on the third episode, we were discussing interpretations of things. On to the fourth episode, we had conversations about film festivals, how some of these supposedly film festivals exist in our society today. And on to the final episode, I had a general discussion about a bunch of things. It was cricket, or sometimes moving ahead, I was also discussing about Tamino being his new song called Fascination. But now, after completing five episodes, we thought, well, let's introduce a few more segments and give it a little bit of a different direction as well. So, to wrap up season one, we started releasing five episodes, and the new segment was called Rough Rec Tapes. So, the main long form podcast episodes completed with the fifth episode, that was Hi, It's Andy. And now this will be the final episode of Rough Rec Tapes. After this, today we'll be releasing a new segment called Interview Tapes. In Interview Tapes, it's usually a few of our interesting personalities that we have met, and we go around having discussions with them, knowing about them, knowing a little bit how they have come up and how they grew up, what they do, what their opinions are about a bunch of things. Nothing too personal, but everything on a common ground and on a common layer kind of a thing. And so, there are going to be five episodes of interview tapes moving ahead, and we'll complete the season one with 15 episodes. So, the first five episodes were the main podcast episodes, then we came up with Rough Rec Tapes. That was the first segment. Well, mostly the second segment. So 5 episodes of that and 5 episodes of interview tapes. So that's saying we would have 15 episodes completed of season one. But this is not it. We are also planning to introduce two more new segments. The first one is going to be a music segment, which is going to be weekly. It will be titled Closing Time Tunes, and it's usually me going about into my collection and finding one particular piece of music or a song or something that is interesting. And it will be weekly on the podcast, but it is a regular on Instagram. So you can follow us on the Instagram page of Cyne, where usually I put out these 15 seconds of snippets of these particular songs. And then by the time when we have completed 6 tracks, at the day, one particular day, we'll discuss why these songs are important and why these songs resonate with me, to be specifically. And that will be kind of a weekly episode. So we'll summarize 6 tracks of that particular week. So far, we have, I think so far I've released 3. That is on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And we'll be releasing 3 more, and then we'll have our first episode of Closing Time Tunes. And after that, we'll have another new segment, which is also a weekly segment called Trots with Tomes. So, Trots with Tomes is a book club. A book club will usually, what I do with my time is, as much as I write, as much as I watch things, I like to read as well. So, we've gone through a couple of books. We've already posted 2 books on Instagram. And weekly, as in this podcast is going to discuss only one single book. Like the last book that we have posted was George Orwell, and it was Orwell and the Dispossessed. It contains a few letters, articles, and particular opinion pieces by George Orwell during his time in London, Paris, and India. Before that, we were having I went through, I think, a book called John Locke's. I don't remember the name of the book. Anyway, so apart from that, we'll pick one book and we'll discuss it towards the end of the week. So yeah, in total there are going to be 5 segments of Petty Tech Tapes from now onwards. Each season will have close to 15 episodes, and then we'll repeat the cycle of 5 episodes each. That is for the long form, and that is the Petty Tech Tapes. And then the Rough Rec Tapes will have 5 episodes, and so will Interview Tapes. So we'll have 15 episodes like that. And you can expect a new episode every week regarding Closing Time Tunes, where we'll discuss music of that week, specifically 5 to 6 tracks. And Trots with Tomes, of course, will discuss books, one particular book of that particular week. Might be too much of heavy information, but moving ahead, we'll also be starting with a new podcast, Sideways, which will be called Traits and Crates. So, Traits and Crates already exists as a blog on our website. And Traits and Crates is a mix of bunch of things. It has advertisement scripts, it has top 10 lists and articles. But moving ahead, we'll be having movie reviews, TV reviews, new albums, posters, discussion about posters specifically, and a couple of authors and things like that, rather in a long form again. But I'll try to, when it comes to recording the podcast, we'll keep it short so you can go back and read as well as listen to us as to what we discuss, or more specifically, sometimes it's just me alone, so what I'm discussing. Anyway, Interview Tapes, the first episode of Interview Tapes will be coming out soon, and we have a very interesting personality with us on that episode. We've tried to keep all these 5 episodes different. So we've interviewed each person with a different background of where they come from and what they are currently doing as well, and how they are coping with things, be it on a physical or on mental level. But anyway, thanks for tuning in. These are the few things that we are doing with our time, or at least that's what I'm trying to do. And hope you have fun. Hope you tune in, and that's it. That's me signing off. This is Andy, and this is the final episode of Rough Rec Tapes. Thanks for tuning in. Moving ahead, we'll have Interview Tapes first episode. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you so much. Bye bye.